Close your eyes for a moment and think about this. Every atom in your body right now, every carbon atom, every oxygen atom, every bit of calcium in your bones, every iron molecule in your blood is billions of years old. These atoms were forged in the hearts of dying stars. They've been here since before the Earth existed. They don't get old. They don't get tired. They don't forget where they put their keys. A carbon atom in your fingertip today is identical to a carbon atom from 4 billion years ago. It hasn't aged a single day. And yet, you have. You're made of immortal parts. But you're mortal if the pieces don't wear out. Why does the whole thing fall apart? Why do you age? The answer isn't what you think. It's not about biology or medicine or vitamins or exercise. The real reason you age is a law of physics, the second law of thermodynamics. And by the time we're done here today, you'll understand something so fundamental about yourself and the universe that you'll never look at your life or your morning sea. The same way again asterisk. Let me start with something simple. Something you probably do every morning without thinking about it. You make coffee. You pour cream into it. You stir, and something happens that seems utterly ordinary. The cream mixes with the coffee. It swirls. It creates beautiful patterns, and then within seconds, the entire cup becomes a uniform tan color. The cream has mixed completely. Now, here's my question. Have you ever seen that process run backwards? Have you ever stirred your coffee and watched the cream unmix? Have you seen the tan liquid separate back into black coffee and white cream? No, you haven't. Nobody has. In the entire history of humanity, no one has ever seen cream spontaneously unmixed from coffee. Not once. And this is strange. Because if you look at the physics of individual molecules, if you could watch two water molecules collide, or a cream molecule bump into a coffee molecule, every single one of those collisions is perfectly reversible. If you filmed two atoms colliding and ran the film backwards, it would look exactly the same. The laws of physics at the atomic level don't care about time's direction. Past and future are identical as far as Newton's laws are concerned, and yet, when you put billions of these reversible interactions together, something magical happens. Time gets an arrow, a direction. Cream mixes but never unmixes. Hot coffee cools to room temperature. But room temperature coffee never spontaneously heats up. An egg can break, but broken eggshells never reassemble themselves. You grow older, but you never grow younger. Where does this one-wayness come from? This is the central mystery we're going to solve, and the answer begins with understanding what disorder really means. Asterisk, imagine a brand new deck of playing cards, fresh out of the box. The cards are in perfect order, all the clubs together, then diamonds, then hearts, then spades, and within each suit, the cards run from ace to king. There's only one way to arrange the deck to be in this perfect order. Just one. Now shuffle the deck once. What happens? The cards become disordered, random. And here's the crucial point. There isn't just one disordered arrangement. There are 8 followed by 67 zeros possible arrangements of a 52-card deck. That's more possible arrangements than there are atoms in our galaxy. Asterisk, out of all those possible arrangements, only one is the perfectly ordered state we started with. So if you shuffle a deck, what are the odds it goes back to perfect order? 1 in 810, essentially 0. This is entropy. Entropy isn't a force pushing things toward disorder. It's simply the mathematics of probability. There are vastly, unimaginably more ways for things to be disordered than ordered. So, if things start in an ordered state and then begin changing randomly, they will almost certainly end up in one of the countless disordered states. That's why cream mixes into coffee but doesn't unmix. That's why your coffee cools down. That's why eggshells don't reassemble. Not because it's impossible, but because it's so statistically unlikely that you could wait 1,000 lifetimes of the universe and never see it happen. Now let's apply this to something more complex. Imagine a room divided by a wall. On the left side, you release red gas. On the right side, blue gas. Both at the same temperature, same pressure. Now remove the wall. What happens? The gases mix. They become purple. And they'll stay mixed forever. Why don't they spontaneously unmix? For the same reason the cream doesn't unmix from your coffee. There's only one arrangement where all red molecules are on the left and all blue on the right. But there are countless trillions of arrangements where they're mixed. The system naturally flows toward what's more probable, and this brings us to the most important word in understanding why you age: entropy. Asterisk, so what are you, physically? You're about 7 billion atoms ranged in the most spectacularly improbable order. You have DNA molecules with billions of precisely ordered base pairs. You have proteins folded into exact three-dimensional shapes that perform specific functions. You have cells organized into tissues, tissues into organs, organs into systems. You are, from a physics perspective, an extraordinarily low entropy system. You are like that perfectly ordered deck of cards in a universe that's constantly being shuffled, and the second law of thermodynamics says that entropy disorder tends to increase in isolated systems. But wait, you might say if entropy always increases, how did I get here? How did life emerge at all? How does a baby grow into an adult? Becoming more ordered, more complex. Here's the crucial distinction. You are not an isolated system. You're an open system. You exchange energy and matter with your environment constantly. You breathe, you eat, you drink, you radiate heat, and this is how life cheats entropy temporarily. Think of a refrigerator. A refrigerator takes heat from inside, making it colder, more ordered, and dumps it outside, making the kitchen warmer. More disordered, the inside of the fridge becomes low entropy. But only by increasing the entropy of the kitchen by an even greater amount. Total entropy increases. You work on exactly the same principle. You take in low entropy, highly ordered molecules, the sugars in an apple, the proteins in meat, the complex molecules in vegetables, and you break them down. You extract the energy stored in their chemical bonds, and you export high-entropy waste, carbon dioxide, water, heat. You are a local pocket of order that maintains itself by creating disorder around you. The physicist Erwin Schrödinger said it beautifully. What an organism feeds upon is negative entropy. Life drinks order from the universe. You are, right now, doing physics at the most fundamental level. Every breath you take, every meal you eat, is part of this great exchange. Importing order, exporting disorder. Staying alive means fighting entropy locally while increasing it globally. But this fight has a cost. Here's where aging comes in. You can fight entropy for a while. Your body has magnificent repair systems every day in every one of your trillions of cells. Your DNA gets damaged tens of thousands of times. Radiation, chemicals. Random thermal collisions, they all break molecular bonds. And every day, repair enzymes fix most of this damage. But not all of it. Some errors slip through. Maybe 1 in a billion. That sounds negligible. But multiply that by trillions of cells over decades, and the errors accumulate. And here's the vicious cycle. The repair mechanisms themselves are made of molecules that also get damaged. The machines that fix the machines eventually break down. It's like making a photocopy of a document. Then copying the copy. Then copying that copy. With each generation, the errors accumulate. The information degrades. That's aging at the molecular level. But it's even deeper than that. Every repair process requires energy. And using that energy creates waste, heat, increasing entropy elsewhere. You can't maintain order without creating disorder. There's no free lunch in the universe. Evolution has optimized you not for immortality, but for reproduction. From a genetic perspective, you need to live long enough to reproduce and raise offspring. After that, there's diminishing evolutionary return on investing energy in perfect repair. It's more economical to build a body that works well for several decades than one that works perfectly forever. This is the disposable soma theory. Your body is designed to be disposable. Harsh, but true. And this aligns perfectly with the physics. Because even with perfect repair, the second law would still win eventually. Asterisk, because to repair perfectly, you need perfect information about what to repair. And to maintain that information requires more repair. It's an infinite regression. Eventually, the errors overwhelm the system. This is why you can't live forever. Not because your atoms, well, they don't, but because maintaining their specific arrangement against the universe's constant shuffling becomes statistically impossible over long enough timescales. Asterisk, so let's step back and see what this really means. You are a temporary pattern, a specific arrangement of atoms that maintains its shape against the cosmic tide of disorder. The same law that causes cream to mix in your coffee, that causes mountains to erode and stars to burn out, is the law that causes you to age. But here's the beautiful part. This isn't a tragedy. It's what makes life possible in the first place. The flow of energy from low entropy to high entropy is what drives everything: weather systems, ocean currents, photosynthesis, and yes, your consciousness. You are a whirlpool in a river of energy, maintaining your form while the water flows through you. One day, your atoms will scatter. They'll become part of the soil, the air, the ocean. They might become part of a tree, or a cloud, or another living being billions of years from now. Your carbon atoms will continue their journey through the universe as they have for billions of years. You are not a machine that breaks down. You are a story that the universe is telling itself. A story of order emerging from chaos, persisting for a while, and then returning to the chaos from which it came. So the next time you look in the mirror and notice a new wrinkle, or feel tired after a long day, or forget where you put your phone, remember, you are not falling apart. You're participating in the oldest, most fundamental process in existence. You are stardust that briefly remembered how to be a person. And for a little while, against all statistical odds, you succeeded. Asterisk.